What is good in the hood? Welcome everybody. How are you all? I hope you all are fantastic, and if not, I hope during the duration of this video you feel a little bit better, or at the very least are able to escape from whatever it is that you're going through. So today what we're gonna do a on-track car review of the Dodge Viper GTS, and I have a little bit of a story time as well, because there is actually a particular reason why I am choosing to review this car first than any other car on this game. But you will find that out when we are on the track. Alright, so let's get right to it. And what better track to do a on-track car review than the Nürburgring? Shout out to Jeremy Clarkson. Beautiful car. One of my favorite cars of all time is this car. And this game actually is one of the, if not the reason why I even found out about this car in the first place. A lot of people don't like the way the car sounds, but I love it. So we're gonna go to driving options real quick, because the Dodge Viper, when it first came out, it was looked at as a monster because it was basically an engine and a car kind of built around it, because the engine was an 8-liter V10. It's humongous, but it had zero driving aids, no ABS, no traction control. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the traction control off. However, because this is a 2002 model, we're going to leave the ABS on. ABS got implemented into the Dodge Viper's production in 2001. Anything prior to that had no ABS. So yeah, we're going to leave the ABS on, and we're going to get right to it. All right, let's make this happen, Captain. What it do? I'll tell you what, based off the first few corners here, this is already much better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, if this is really the way this car drove in real life, this thing is amazing. And it's not much of a brute as I thought it was going to be. And I'm not saying that it's not a handful, because it is. But it's... And I'm speaking from the perspective of having faith in Gran Turismo itself, of getting the driver characteristics of cars right. If they got this right, if this is accurate, or as accurate as it can be, of what this car actually drives like, then this thing is amazing, and I want one. You know, if your inputs are smooth, you can literally make this car do whatever you want it to. And obviously, as you can see, it's really easy to get this thing to rotate. But that's fantastic, because it's controllable. I'm like trying to stay calm, because I'm kind of getting extremely excited here as we're going through this course. But you can drive this thing with the throttle, and I love it. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be a lot more understeer with this car, since the Viper does have a huge 8-liter V10 up front. I really thought it was gonna push a little bit more, especially in the tighter corners, but it doesn't. It just, as soon as you think it's gonna oversteer, it rotates. It just makes things so much easier to get through and a lot more fun to drive, in my opinion. And it's only 448 horsepower, it says on the game, and 450 something pound-feet of torque. And I can't really feel, you know, of course, I can't necessarily feel the torque, but it has this like constant, consistent pull to it. This thing is amazing. Yeah, that overdrive gear is killing me. Love this thing. There's something very pure about this car, and I would be very interested to actually drive this thing, and compare how it feels in this game versus how it actually feels driving it. Because, and I guess this might be a good time to kind of segue into the story time portion of this video. But I have had the opportunity, the privilege to actually ride in one of these on a track. Not necessarily at full tilt, but I had the pleasure of doing so. So let me go on to tell you what happened. So I was about maybe 10 or 11 years old. Woo! My mom won some tickets off of a radio station, and it was to what is now known as Sonoma Raceway, but back then it was Infineon Raceway, and before then it was Sears Point Raceway. And it was the American Le Mans Series. American Le Mans, and woo, I was super excited. Never been to an actual road course before. I had been to like a local small track, you know, small oval track, asphalt oval track, but it wasn't nothing special. It was the first time me going to an actual road course, and I was super excited. So we went, had a blast. The smell of race fuel and rubber and oil, and it was just a completely different atmosphere that I've ever experienced, and it really just, I don't know, kind of took over all of my senses. So after the race is over with, everything's done, they make an announcement saying that they're going to do a parade, and I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. And they said it's going to be an exotic car parade. So I'm thinking there's going to be floats of like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, that's kind of a lot to put onto a tight track like this. But come to find out, of course, it was actual cars doing some, you know, a couple of laps around the course. And so we go over there where all the cars are, and I see, you know, some Lamborghini 360, you know, Medinas, and a Diablo, a Murcielago, Porsche 911, Porsche Boxsters. I mean, all European exotic cars. They just look amazing. I very rarely see any of these. Some of these I haven't even seen before, and I for sure haven't seen all of these cars in one spot. But there was only one American car there, and that was this Viper. Same color, same package, same wheels, same everything. And it was the first time I'd ever seen what I had considered a flipping unicorn in person. I mean, let me take that back. I've seen it in person, but I've never gotten the chance to see it that up close and to possibly hear what this thing actually sounds like when it runs and drops, like in real life. So I was super excited. So I go to the guy that's standing there, that owns the car, and he has this toddler inside of his car, and his mom is taking pictures and all this other stuff. So I'm thinking, oh, this is just like any auto show that I've been to, where we're allowed to get into the car, see what it looks like, and all that stuff. You know, I'm a kid, I'm naive, and I tell my mom that. She's like, I don't think that's how it works. But the owner of the car, of the Viper, sees me drooling all over this car. Woo! All right, so I decided to come here and finish the story because it just was going to take forever. So basically, he sees me looking at his car. He walks over to us, starts talking to my mom, and starts talking to me and asking me if I like his car. And I'm like, you know, heck yes, without trying to curse in front of my mother, because of course that's not allowed. And we walk over to his car, and he allows me to get in it, and I'm looking around to see what the inside of a Viper actually looks like, and trying to take in all the details I can. And he looks at my mom and asks her, is it okay if I take him for a ride? Automatically, I'm about to flip my lid. And I look at her with a face like, if you say no, I will be mad at you forever. So thankfully she said yes. And I got inside. It was the lowest thing I've ever sat in my life. You know, even though I was like 10, 11 years old, I can see over the dashboard of any car I've ever sat in at this point. But I can hardly see over the dash, and over the hood for that matter, of this car. I've never, just sitting in a vehicle, I've never sat in anything like it before. So he gets in, starts up the vehicle, and the sound of that burly, muscle-bound 8-liter V10 comes to life. And it's like, it just feels like there's thunder under my butt the entire time. Just complete, utter brutality of an idol. For me, again, never experienced anything like this. So, you know, the track lets all the cars get on the track. We start doing our parade laps. And he starts to slow down to allow all the other cars that are in front of us, you know, gain some distance. And I was like, okay, well, that's, you know, that sucks that you're kind of going slow, but I'm glad that, you know, I'm in here. And then he just puts the hammer down and the most hellacious force throws me into the back of this seat, and I thought this thing was going to take off like an airplane. And I was like, what is this feeling? What is this? And why am I not afraid? Why am I excited? Why do I want this thing to continue to go faster? So then we go into turn 1 and 2 of what is now Sonoma Raceway, of course. And I just so happened to look over at the speedometer, and we're doing 80 to 90 mile an hour in the corners. Now, my mother has gone 80 to 90 miles an hour on the freeway in a straight line, and of course that is fast to me, but this man was doing that speed in a corner, and that blew my mind. The feeling of the car turning right and my body moving left and wanting to continue to go left for all of eternity, it kind of put in perspective what a fast car actually feels like. A proper sports car actually feels like. I've never had that experience before in my life. I've been in, maybe some quick cars or gone what's considered a fast speed in a vehicle before, but it's always been in a straight line, never anything crazy. This was the first time I've gotten to feel what it feels like to be on a track going, what I feel like is at speed. And it just completely changed my perspective on fast cars, because I've only always looked at them, and it just solidified my love for cars, my passion for cars, my passion for racing. So to the guy, if you just so happen to, wherever you are, if you're happening to just check this video out, I want to say thank you, because that gesture of giving that 10-year-old, 11-year-old chunky kid a ride in your Viper, your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Viper, not to sound cheesy, but it essentially changed the direction of my life. So thank you for that. And on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for taking the time to check this video out. Again, if you're going through something, I hope it gets better, and I hope at the very least things got better momentarily while you were watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out of here. Oh, and before I go, the review, final overall review on this car, I love it. Not just because of my memories of having a ride in it, but this thing it's a beast. It's a monster, but it's a driver's car. It is now a goal of mine to actually own one of these things, and hopefully in this exact same color and trim, just like the man's Viper that I rode in all those years ago. I'll see you guys next time.